Hey, what's up guys, it's Carson and today I am making my 2 years on testosterone video update. I was 2 years on testosterone just a couple days ago, so I'm going to go ahead and make my 2-year update. Not only am I 2 years on testosterone, I am also almost 2 weeks post-op top surgery. So because of that, I've been doing a lot of healing and recovering, and I haven't shaved in like 2 weeks, so we're a little scruffy. But you know what? That's what testosterone does, so it actually just perfectly fits in with the theme of the video. So I went ahead and I watched my 1 year on testosterone video update, and hopefully I will cover all the points that I want to cover because it's interesting to see the changes that have happened in a year. I always say at the beginning of these videos, like, oh, I don't think this video is going to be really long because I don't feel like I have a lot to talk about, but then like I end up making a 20-minute video, probably because I ramble a lot, which I'm doing right now. But yeah, I don't feel like I've necessarily had a lot of changes in the past year, but I do at the same time. Very weird. So I always started with my voice update. I'm not going to go ahead and do like the clips. You can go back and watch if you want, but I don't think my voice has really changed much from a year to 2 years. In fact, I checked it in the Voice Pitch Analyzer app, and it's pretty similar. I mean, for me, my voice was one of the first things that dropped, and I think around like 6 to 8 months was when it was like pretty much done dropping, but I still think in the past year it's like adjusting, and I still don't even feel like it's like, it hasn't fully settled, but it's not dropping anymore. So that is pretty much the same. Now, when I watched my video from a year ago, I said that I thought I passed really well at a year. And I mean, I did pass most of the time. Like, no one really ever called me, you know, she or her. I didn't get misgendered a lot, and I think a lot of that was from my voice. But what I'm trying to say is, if you're someone who is like nearing a year on testosterone, maybe you're a little bit less, maybe even a little bit more, and you don't necessarily think you pass. And I know some people don't like the word passing, but like I do, and I like passing, but passing isn't like, not the end all be all to being trans. Like if you don't pass, is it, you know, necessarily, it doesn't mean you're not trans, but if passing is important to you, which it is to a lot of us, and you don't think you pass, I'm trying to say there's still hope for you, because even though I did pass at 1 year, I pass way better now. I look significantly more male at the 2-year mark than the 1-year mark, so I just think it's crazy when I looked back and I'm like, wow, like I really thought I passed, which I did, but it's like, it's just crazy because I look like way different this year in a better way for me. So, I don't necessarily feel like a lot has changed out of my face. My hairline, I really do think is like pretty much the same. I'm actually kind of wanting to like change my hairstyle up this summer, and I think I'm gonna go really, really short, which will definitely show my hairline. It's kind of like widow peaky looking in a way, but I actually kind of do cut my bangs like that, and I kind of like wear it in a faux hawk shape, so I think that makes it look a little bit more like that, but I honestly think my hairline's exactly the same as a year ago. I think my eyebrows are probably about the same thickness. I do dye my facial hair and my eyebrows just to make them look like a little bit more noticeable, and I just recently dyed everything, so like they could be a little bit more prominent right now, but I don't think they're like necessarily thicker. Now, facial hair, I didn't even start growing facial hair till probably about 14 months on testosterone. That's when it started to get noticeable. That's when I started having people comment on it and saying like, oh, hey, you're growing a beard. I did used to only keep it in the shape of like a chin strap because that's really like all I could grow, and like I said, I haven't shaved in like 2 weeks, so like really getting scruffy down here, which I do not like having a neck beard, so like I will be trimming that up here eventually before I go back to work. I also really don't like it up here. Again, I still kind of like it more just like a cleaner shape, but I haven't shaved in like 2, maybe even close to 3 weeks now, and you can kind of see like I do have some hairs are starting to grow through here. Like if I kept letting that grow, I actually maybe could have like a somewhat decent beard, but it's still not great. I'm sure by 3 years it'll probably look a lot better. But I'm just gonna go ahead and keep the chin strap because I like the way that it looks. But I couldn't even grow facial hair at all a year ago, so like that definitely helps me look more male. The only other really big change I think in my face is I said at a year that I didn't necessarily think that I was like overweight, but like I probably could handle to use a little bit of weight loss, and like I was just like kind of like teetering like right on that edge. Well, I did start trying to lose weight probably in like May or June a little bit like around when like COVID started getting really big, and I just did a 1,200 calorie diet, and I started doing home workouts probably in like July or August. And I definitely am not like muscular, but I definitely toned up, and I won't be working out until I'm like, cleared by my doctor for post-op top surgery. But I'm a little bit like concerned when I like lose it, but I don't want to like mess anything up, so I won't be lifting for a while. But I did definitely lose probably close to 15 pounds, and a lot of that definitely came out of my face, which I think makes my face look more masculine. And I've never ever been called fat. I had like one boyfriend call me fat years ago, but most people always tell me that I'm skinny, and I definitely do not think I was skinny a year ago, but I think that I hide my weight really well. But I mentioned in my year video that I didn't like having any hair here because I felt like it made my face look fatter, where now I don't necessarily feel like it makes a huge difference, but I think that's because I've lost a lot of weight out of my face, but it definitely probably looks more masculine now. But like I said, I think I did wear my weight well, and from the front, I don't really think you could tell. It was more of like a side profile kind of thing, but I hope that my jawline is coming in a little bit better. I did consider getting chin liposuction when I got top surgery, because I did get hip liposuction, because like I said, I lost like 15 pounds, and I lost most of it out of my face, and I lost a little bit out of my stomach, but my hips just really did not want to go away, and it really accentuated my hourglass shape that I just really don't like. I still have a little bit of it. Bones, can't change it, but it really accentuated it from the hip fat, and I dropped my calories even more. Then I'd bring them back up. Like, I was trying lots of different stuff, and it was just like, I'm sure if I, kept dieting for years or whatever, I probably could have eventually got rid of it, but it was really, really slow. I was losing almost no more weight, so I just went ahead and got lipo. I thought about getting it here, but honestly, the doctor told me, like, she just didn't really think that I needed it. So I'm just gonna kind of try to like keep working out. You can actually do like workouts to like tighten this up too, so I might try to like tighten the muscle up there a little bit, but I definitely don't think it's like that bad. So I get a lot of people that tell me they think I look really young for my age, so I will be 30 in May, and while I definitely don't think I'm bad looking, and I think that I don't look 30, I definitely don't think I look as young as other people think. And now that I've like had top surgery and hip lipo, like I'm a pretty big fan of plastic surgery. Like, if you want to pay money to like look good, like I have no problem with that. And like, I don't know, like, I got like wrinkles there, and like I think that ages me. And then like I said, like this, so like I'm still considering doing some other things, and maybe even like my under eyes are super freaking dark, and it's not a genetic thing. It's not like from being tired or anything. So like those are some things like I'm considering, but like for now, yeah, my face looks different and it looks better, I think. My chest, I have my post-op compression vest on. I have to wear it, all times of the day except for when I shower, and it's too difficult to take off. So like I'm not going to take it off right now, but maybe I'll throw some clips in or some pictures. But I definitely have a lot more chest hair than I did even a year ago. And it's weird because I actually think that is my favorite change from testosterone. And I didn't even want any body hair at all. Like, I wanted to be like a hairless twink. And it just like wasn't like, ooh, chest hair, number one thing that I want. And it's probably my favorite change from testosterone. It's not a lot. I don't think I'll be like a super hairy guy, but it's enough to where like it's super masculine, and I just love the way that it looks. Also, from mostly working out, like my shoulders and like my upper chest, like they got more toned. I think I'd mentioned that, but like they're definitely not muscular, and I'm still having trouble putting on muscle, but they're way more toned in a masculine shape. So like really big fan of that. Same thing with my abs. You can't really see them. There's still like a little bit of fat there, but it looks way more masculine. And then since we're just going head to toe, bottom growth, I think it might be a little bit bigger than it was a year ago, but not like much. Pretty sure that's like it's mostly done growing. And while we're talking about that, like drive, so that comes and goes, but like right now it's been really, really high, like really, really high. I don't love it, but sometimes like I do, because it makes me feel like a man, but then other times I'm like, damn, this is just annoying. So like I don't know. And then I think my thighs look the same, and I feel like my calves look the same, but like they might be a little bit more hairy, but I love the way they look. They look so masculine. Like when I look at them, I'm just like, yeah, look, those are boy legs, and I love that. So I do look a lot different. It's weird, like I said, I don't really necessarily feel like there's a lot of changes, but like I definitely look different than I did a year ago. Now, I also talked about mental changes, and I know like a lot of guys, and I said this in my last video, they talk about how like they feel like testosterone made them way more confident, and I didn't feel that way at a year. But now I finally do. And I don't know if it's testosterone or if it's just me as a person. Like I'm obviously, trying to grow as a person. That's, part of life's journey or whatnot. But like I definitely feel way more confident. Not only do I feel more confident, but I think you can see, like people who are friends with me, they can see like I just don't look as like timid or like shy or like whatever as I did a year ago. I said that like I was really like self-confident, I guess, of being short, and then I was like always concerned about like guys wanting to like fight me, and like I just don't necessarily feel that way anymore. And I do think testosterone is a little bit of it. I think growing is a little bit of it, and I also think it's just that I finally have gotten to a point where like I just don't think people care about me or other people being trans as much as like I thought they did. So I'm not stealth, and I've never been stealth at work, but I've never been like open about being trans, and I'm kind of to the point where like I actually want to be, because I don't want people to feel like trans people are weird or like we're different than normal people, because we're not, and I just want to be like normalized. And I feel like if I'm okay with like reaching out to people and telling them like, dude, I'm just like normal dude, which a lot of people look at me that way, then it gives me more confidence. And here's the thing, like what I've realized over the past 2 years is like that is what most people think. Like most people just don't care about you being trans. It's not that big of a deal. Like I tell people and they're like, okay, like whatever, like just normal dude. Yeah, sure, there are people that I work with that don't like me and think I'm super freaking weird for being trans, and like it's disgusting. I've had people complain on me using the men's bathroom and whatever, but like most people don't care. For every like one person that cares, there's like 9 people that don't care. Or like for every one person that cares, there's like 6 or 7 that don't care, and there's like 4 that are like really rooting for you. I don't know. I really can't, give you the numbers, but like that's just how I feel, and I definitely am not. I don't live in like a super pro LGBT area even. So because of that, I feel way more confident as a person, and I think that's great. I think you can see it radiate into me, but I definitely don't know if that's from testosterone or not. So also I got my T levels checked the last time I went to the doctor, which was maybe like a few weeks ago, and they're actually surprisingly too high. So my first year on testosterone, I was on like 0.2. I think I upped it to like 0.3 near the end, and then we raised it to 0.4 for most of this year, and I was actually going to ask for an increase because I feel like 0.5 is more like a normal T dosage. But yeah, I got my T levels checked, and they're actually way too high. So I'm going back to 0.3 for a while, and then we'll see if like that fixes anything. I don't necessarily like feel like I can tell my levels are high or low. Like I just kind of have felt pretty much the same throughout the whole year. So I guess that's why it's important to get your blood work done. The only reason I've taken so long to get the blood work done is because I didn't have the greatest insurance last year that wouldn't cover the testosterone blood test, and the out-of-pocket on that was actually really expensive. So I did not want to pay for that again, but now I have better insurance that is covering most of the stuff, so it should be fine. I probably won't get billed for that. Also, like I'm paying for top surgery this year, and like pretty much everything this year should be covered because I'm definitely going to end up hitting my out-of-pocket max for that. Also, what I want to say about like getting top surgery is I did not necessarily feel like I had a lot of top dysphoria beforehand. Like I had some, but just definitely not as much as like bottom dysphoria, and probably not as much as a lot of other trans guys. But now that I've had it done, it looks and feels so right, and I was a little bit concerned that it would increase my bottom dysphoria, and I guess it might eventually, but now it's like at least when I look in the mirror, it looks right, and so it's kind of so far decreased my bottom dysphoria because it's just like most of my body looks right now. So like that is it's great. I also have said in the past that like I did not know if like transitioning was right for me. I've always known I was trans, but I didn't know if transitioning was right for me. And for like the first couple months, I almost feel like transitioning kind of did bring on a little bit more dysphoria. And I think that is just because I was so concerned about what other people thought about me. But now I'm finally at a point where like I don't care what other people think about me as much as I did before. And so now I'm just like I'm finally pretty happy with me as a person. So I'm curious to see where I'll be at 3 years. It'll probably be the next testosterone update video I make, because I just really don't see too many changes happening from like, 2 years to like 2.5 years or anything. But I will make some updates on my chest. So that is my 2 years on testosterone video update. Hope you guys liked the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.